Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing She-Hulk. Yes, I know a lot of you hate the idea of that show, hate the show, what have you, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not a huge fan of the show. I did like the character in the comics from what I've read. The character's kind of right up my alley, as they say. But this article from CBR.com focuses on the design of Tatiana Maslany's character of Jessica Walters' She-Hulk, and more specifically to that, the level of muscularity that the character would show with the CGI. Now, I had my thoughts on this as well going in, but I'll save those for the video. Until then, monkeys, roll the footage.
Death! My snoo-snoo!
Yeah! What are you, gay?
Yeah, that works.
I like
all right,
it a lot.
okay. All right, moving on.
Hey, what about Tulip?
The MCU She-Hulk original design had more muscles. Now, one can think of a myriad of reasons why they would have decreased the level of muscularity that this character displayed. And that is basically boils down to mainstream appeal. While the female form at its peak level of physical development does have a large number of fans, more so than they care to admit, and that includes, people who've been shamed out of, saying openly that they like women with muscle. And, me, myself being one of those, I don't care. I'll openly say it. I do to a certain extent. Absolutely. As being someone who is involved in bodybuilding and wrestling, I look at that kind of physique and I have a hell of a lot of respect for it, and I think it's attractive. It shows the level of hard work that somebody can achieve without putting in hours and hours and days and months and years of effort into, building and sculpting your body into, that well-developed form. And I know what you're saying, but ETEP, what about steroids? A lot of those gals do steroids. Well, yeah, a lot of them do. But even if you do, and this goes for men as well, and I'm not just talking anabolic steroids, Tren, HGH, stuff like that too, you still have to put in a lot of work for that to have the effect. And, then it still takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight. Yeah, it can happen at an expedited rate, but that's only proportionate to the amount of effort you put in. That notwithstanding, we're going to talk about CGI muscle here on the She-Hulk character. This, as I stated earlier, article from CBR.com. This came out about 12 hours ago. VFX artist Sean Rucroft, who worked on several MCU productions, claims that She-Hulk's design in the coming Disney Plus show originally had more muscles. Now, I know there was a lot of criticism of the face, the work with the face and the CGI on that. This particular shot, I don't think looks too terrible. Now, Tatiana Maslany, like I said, I was kind of a critic of hers initially. That way, in casting an actress who carries a little more of a muscular build, a stunt woman, what have you, you have that effect with your CG. It's a little less jarring when you see the actress in normal form. And I know there's supposed to be a big difference, but even then still there's ways of, dressing her to, dress that down. Let's get into the article. We'll see what this VFX artist has to say. You can leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to watch the show, if you have no interest in it, if you read the comics, because I kind of went back and read some of the comics. I have some of the old Avengers ones when she was in there. I know she was in the Fantastic Four at one point. So a very intellectually powerful as well as physically powerful hero. And in the age of, tokenized characters, this is one with, I would say, it was pretty well accepted by everybody. This really, I don't see She-Hulk as a polarizing figure until you get into these modern runs where they basically took She-Hulk and turned her into the regular Bruce Banner Hulk, albeit with a crop top and a ponytail, which is really freaking weird. And then I'm not even going to talk about the Red Hulk, the red female Winter Hulk that looks like, well, we'll just call it a... Jennifer Walters' original design in She-Hulk Attorney at Law reportedly featured far more muscles. Following an outcry from fans that She-Hulk's Tatiana Maslany, general stature and physique in the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe series were too small. VFX artist Sean Rucroft offered an explanation for her build. I was at a company that did VFX for this. Apparently, she was bigger early on, but the notes kept saying make her smaller, writes Rucroft. We always roll our eyes like we did on Sonic, but at the end of the day, artists gotta follow orders. While Rucroft didn't work on She-Hulk, attorney at law, they did work on the visual effects for Avengers, Infinity War, Spider-Man, Homecoming, and Moon Knight. Following the release of She-Hulk's trailer, many fans expressed frustration over Jennifer Walters' lack of larger muscles. Many have criticized Marvel Studios and Disney for not giving the character a more overtly powerful aesthetic akin to her cousin Bruce Banner, aka the Incredible Hulk. Despite the outcry, many insisted that her smaller frame was more comics accurate, as the character of She-Hulk is often depicted as having fewer muscles than Marvel's various other Hulks. Well, to me, as I said, she can still be muscular, but she doesn't have to be as big as Bruce Banner's Hulk. I mean, look at it like this. Okay, she's 6'7", so obviously you can build her with more of an, that tall, lean type frame, but thicken it up a little bit. There's a particular spot in the trailer, and right here, where she's walking into the bedroom carrying the guy, I just looked at her legs, and the moment she lands as well in the beginning, and you see her in the jumpsuit, or the spandex outfit, I should say, her legs just look way skinny, and so did she in that first shot. I mean, there's a couple other shots where it looks like they thickened her up a little bit, but you have to make this proportionate to her frame. And like I said, you thicken up her legs a little bit, give her that small weight. Tatiana Maslany is very lithe as it is anyway, very lean physique. So give her a smaller waist, give her a little bit of a V taper to her upper torso, widen out her delts a little bit, make her quads bigger and her calves, and but like I said, you don't have to make her absolutely huge. You can just thicken it up in some areas, add some wideness to it. And I think it would look 100 times better. And as long as you get the face tracking down a little bit better as well, because Tatiana Maslany she is an attractive woman. Don't get me wrong. So as long as you can match up that, and this is my opinion and my thoughts on it, I believe it would look better and come across a little bit better. Now, I'm not going to say that I have any solution for the writing or, the given dialogue we've got so far, which is on a level of almost parody, and the friend is just ridiculous. There's a lot to dislike about the trailer for this show, in both the quality of the content and as well as the aesthetic of it. So I really think they dropped the ball here, not making this character just slightly more muscular. And I say that not because I like that personally, but because even though I know some people said, well, it's not as comic accurate, well, there's various iterations of her. And I mean, it just would make the character. Do you really just want her to look like a tall woman? I mean, I know in some forms that's what she's looked like. I just think, Justice, her being a Hulk and all, it would have looked a little bit better. But let's go on with the article. Beyond the debate surrounding Jennifer Walters' physique, many fans criticized the trailer's VFX shots, pointing to various scenes of She-Hulk's CGI face. MCU enthusiasts expressed concerns that the show won't be able to improve the shots in time for its Disney Plus premiere on August 17th. Despite this, many fans expressed faith in Marvel Studios, insisting that the company will be able to deliver more convincing CGI work by the time of release.
Liar!
Well, and that's part of the caveat to the whole situation as well, is are they willing to fix it? Are they willing to go the extra mile? Or are they just going to say, you know what, it's good, we'll leave it as is? As far as the face goes, I have no inclination to believe that they would do anything else to her physique. I'm pretty sure they're going to leave that as is. And like I said, I think there's a couple scenes where it was just like, is this really what you want to go with? Like I said, it doesn't make sense either, because you see the landing scene, not with her and Bruce together, but right here with her by herself, where they kind of pan upwards from, legs up. She just looks way thinner there, than she does in the dress scene here when she kind of steps out of the vehicle and, you know, her friends are kind of marveling at her appearance. And I'm not saying that she didn't look good there. I'm saying that there's a vast difference in how thick she appears in both, and I'll kind of do a side-by-side here for that. But, I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know. The show will also add several new characters to Marvel Studios' ever-growing cinematic universe. Fans can look forward to appearances from the villainous Titania, played by Jamila Jamil, and obscure superhero Frogman, whose actor is currently unknown. At the time of writing, the specific details of the show's plot are still largely unknown. And again, of course, they cast an absolute beanpole to play Titania, who is this big, muscular, when she reaches her power level, redhead. And of course, they cast as I said, a beanpole who is not a redhead, but hey, they're not afraid to put her in a red wig, are they? You know, hey, oh yeah, here's the character, you know, from the comics. Yeah, it's got a fan base. All right, cool, it's a redhead. Oh, well shit, we need to cast a woman of color for this then. And that's exactly what they did, of course. And as I said, absolute beanpole. Like, what do they have against, number one, redheads, number two, women that weigh more than 100 pounds and look like they actually eat real food and, you know what a weight room is? As I said, I know this is all VFX and CGI. Titania, still, aka Mary McFerrin, is a professional wrestler and a member of the group The Grapplers, which I had to look up in doing my research for this and my due diligence. But the funny thing is, you're talking about a woman who is not a lawyer. This woman is a wrestler, a professional wrestler, a profession which, you know, requires you to carry a muscular or at least athletic physique. Now, you've casted Jamila Jamil in this role, who is not a wrestler, is not an athlete, does not look like she could even pass for an athlete. She looks like, I said, a vegan who does yoga and fasts about 7 days a week. So this is kind of funny that they're doing this kind of casting again. And also, as I stated in the video earlier, she's not a redhead. You've miscast another role by, you know, the ginger side. The ongoing ginger side continues with, you know, wiping out another redhead character. What else would we expect from the House of Mouse, Kevin Feige, Victoria Alonso, and the geniuses over at Marvel? But those are just my thoughts. Now it's your turn. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've hung around this long, I thank you so much for your kind support. You guys and gals are the reason I do this. My Kazooians, my channel members, y'all get thanked proper coming up after the sign off. But if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing today. It's free. It always will be. Just press the red button, ding the bell for notifications. I'm Tepo Kuyin of The Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of yous. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Get your own.
Take that, you bitch!
No! What the hell?
How'd you like that?
Hey, joke's on you. I have hepatitis.
Boom! I could